start looking at this park in terms of not just the park itself, but also as a landscape. And so I want you guys to think about the landscape and whether it feels, if you guys think it feels timeless, or if you guys think it's feel like it's been changing. Or maybe you guys think it feel like it has not been changing this whole time. For my first time visitors, obviously everything we see here is going to be what we see at first glance. Maybe for our returning visitors, things might have not looked the same 20 years ago when you came and did your previous visiting Yosemite. And so what I want us to think about is all these massive granite cliffs that we have. They may appear permanent. Most of the time they may even look frozen in time. But over the couple of hours that I have you guys for on this tramp, we're going to explore some of the natural forces and even human influences that continue to shape Yosemite Valley even today. Of big wall climbing. It all got to start right here, and it all got really popular after World War II. So in the 1950s, top climbers came to Yosemite National Park and exchanged ideas about how to get up different routes on their granite walls. Together, they even made the modern equipment that climbers use today, and all got their start right here at Camp 4. And even got our big names, big company names today that we see and wear every day. Patagonia, North Face. They say that North Face got its logo from Half Dome, and it all started from the founders when they lived here in Camp 4. Now as we continue going down Camp 4, we're going to be crossing into Wahoga Village. Wahoga Village is a really cool site. It's the last Indian village here in Yosemite Valley. Now, Yosemite Valley documents people all the way back to 8,000 years. And so 8,000 years ago, we would have had 100 Native American village sites here that the NPS has been able to report. And so this is an example of the village sites right here. We have a roundhouse.
So you should take a picture.
Now, if you guys look to your left, to your right a little bit, you guys will notice these little piles left on the ground. Those are what we call slash piles. And so when these people are climbing up El Cap, they're climbing with all the gear they brought with them. And whether that's them holding it on themselves on their back, or them hauling it up with them on each of those anchors that they see, it takes a lot of effort to do. To become the foundation of what you see today. So all these granite walls that we're around is the direct result from that Farallon plate subducting under our North American plate. Oh man, this is a pretty view of Bridal Veil Falls, the rivers and the glaciers with evidence of the waterfalls like Bridal Veil today. And then pretty much it literally gave way and fell off the edge of that cliff. That's how that valley up there was made, specifically with the glacier that was up there. That happened here, not too far from here, is the meadow where Teddy Roosevelt and John Muir had their camping trip here in the park. So we're going to pass by in just a little bit that sign. But pretty much what had happened was TDR had just became the president in 1901, the youngest president at that time, 42 years old. So he was a pretty young guy, and he was pretty familiar with conservation, and he had background experience with the outdoors, and so he loved the outdoors.
You want one of the two ones?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.